We have Math Academy, English Language Arts Academy, again, because we have limited resources. We're not like the larger counties that have a whole curriculum office, you know, where you might have 10 people that can write curriculum. If we don't utilize the resources in a smart way, then we can't get those kinds of things done. So we are paying our teachers to come and help us look at the curriculum and make sure that we're delivering the standards at a time when the students need to have the standards delivered. Advanced placement, we spent some money on advanced placement because, you know, the outcomes were not something to really celebrate. We should be doing better. So we have procured some other resources, and we're training our teachers on how to get better results. And we've spent money for those materials. Interventions, again, you know, we are only as good as the least of us. So if we're not paying attention to the students that are really struggling and that really need that help and provide those on-time, day-to-day interventions, which we really were not doing, then we're not going to be able to meet the needs of our lowest performing students and the kids that need the most help. So Audience program is a wonderful program that this is year 2 and it's really skyrocketed. The high school principal sent me some data last night and it was really amazing. She said that students are signing up for college visits almost double where we were this time last year. It's for grades 6 through 12. It's a college and readiness preparation. Students, and why they love this is because it's technology. They can access this information on their phone. They can take interest surveys on their phone. They can, if their interest, like it shoves them towards engineering, they can put in their phone, I'm interested in colleges in Maryland that are can offer engineering, or within a 200-mile radius, and it'll just bring up all the colleges that would be in that area, in that you know, within those parameters and that search criteria. And then it also will help us track data, because we have a huge number. I mean, I don't have the number in front of me. The high school principal, Mrs. Williams, shared that, but I think it was over 50% of our high school seniors or our high schoolers are first-generation college goers. And so we have to do a better job of tracking what they're doing. And with this program, it's a comprehensive management tool. We can collect data. We know where they're applying. If we see that, say the student is interested in engineering and you know, we think they need to be looking at the University of Maryland and they're not, we can enter it into their profile, and we can tell them, you need to look at this. The parents also have a profile as well, and they can also add things and tell their children to access that. One of the other things we're not doing well, or we haven't been doing well, is having our students apply for scholarships. This program helps us because it puts all of that, it's a one-stop. Kids know exactly what scholarships they should be applying for, and we don't have to wait for them to go to the guidance office to get that information. Communication. We invested in a lot of communication tools to communicate with our families. We've got Bright Arrow mass notification system, and your school info. I didn't bring my phone up here, but it's an app, and it tells you every morning what's happening at your school. So it's I've been stopped at some of the football games, and some of the parents say we love this new app because it's consistently telling them, you know, like if there's going to be a college at the high school, a college visit, they'll say, you know, University of Maryland's here today visiting, and so they know what's happening. It also is a great way if we have an emergency, we can push it out very quickly, and it goes to all 3 places: a call, an app, and then on the website. So that was an investment that we made as well. More resources in underperforming schools. You know, that is something that, from my professional, using my professional judgment, we were underserving some of our schools. And so we have done a much better job of allocating more resources. You know, fair is not always equal. And so you have to look at your data, and you have to look at what it is you're trying to do. And again, we're only as as great as the least of us. So we have to look at the fact that poverty brings with it a lot of social and emotional issues. And so we have added additional special education programs at Wharton and also at Garnett and also at the middle school. Those are the places that we need them. We actually added another special education teacher due to the caseloads, and we felt like it was very much needed. We have social emotional classrooms at Garnett that help us, or a classroom. We really need to add another one, just because our kids are coming in with these great needs. We've added a social worker at Garnett, which has been incredibly beneficial. And we're trying to build up a caseload for all seasons with a counselor at Wharton. If it doesn't work out, then we're going to have to bite the bullet and allocate monies for that as well. And of course, the counselor with the truancy program that helps us keep our kids in school at the high school. We also expanded Algebra 1 classes at Kent County Middle School. Again, we were offering Algebra 1 for our STEM kids, but not all of our students are, they need to have access to higher math, but maybe they're not really into the whole STEM, or maybe they're just late bloomers. If we don't give them the opportunity to take Algebra 1 at the middle school, they're out of luck for taking higher level math at the high school. So this year we started a pilot, a non-STEM Algebra 1 program, identified 28 students that tried to bring in more minorities and tried to bring in some of the kids that weren't really sure if they could succeed. And so far, that's been a very good pilot, and we may be expanding that as well. That takes more commitment and resources from our teachers. We added the Teacher Academy to our career and technology education program. So, that's in there as well. We added the measurement of academic progress assessments this year. These are diagnostic assessments, and the reason why I really felt like it was important to bring this up is PARC is a mastery. It's a mastery level. It tests, or at least lets the parents know how well the child mastered the test. And that's fine and well, and we can use the data to the best of our ability, but the measurement of academic progress actually provides us with diagnostics. We gave it at the beginning of the year, and it tells us what the students need in order to be successful in that grade level. So it really helps us target those interventions to help our students, and so our teachers are really loving this. And the thing about this is, you can't layer these things on the first year. You have to wait till people are ready to accept those, and we're at a place now where teachers are asking for the data. Our teachers have been frozen, if you will, or at least held at their step. They had not seen a step increase in 3 years prior to my arrival, and so obviously we couldn't support giving them all 3 steps right away, but my point was we had to at least find a way to provide a step so we wouldn't get further and further behind. So that was at a commitment at a time when we were reducing our budgets as well, so that was something. We've had an expanded outreach for underserved populations. I explained or relayed some of the things that we've done, but the other thing that we did this year is we moved our most experienced principals to our underperforming schools. We felt that was very much needed. We kind of went back and forth, and there was lots of turnover and those kinds of things in those schools, but it was a courageous move on our part, to make those changes. And we also moved teachers around. We've been moving them around not moving them around, but just reevaluating where our strengths are and where we needed greater strengths, trying to marriage non-tenured with tenured teachers so we have strong teams. Again, as Mr. Reed spoke about, you can never underestimate the importance of a highly qualified teacher and those to achieve results. Commitment to the success of all students is really through the PLC process that I talked about, the professional learning communities, the assessments, all of those things. have really helped us achieve positive outcomes. And I will say that the schools that were using it well were the schools that showed significant results, double-digit results in the park scores this year. So I think it was it was a great message for us as a county, but great message to the administrative team that we really had to strengthen and really focus on that as well. And I'm very excited about our 2 new principals at the elementary level. They're very committed to that, and they've been part of this district and part of what we've been trying to do. Kindergarten readiness, #1 ranking, 2 consecutive years. That's a celebration. The technology that we have in grades K through 12, that's a celebration. Our improved academic outcomes. In our park results, we showed improvements in 13 out of 16 targets, double-digit improvement in 9 out of 16 targets, which maybe people don't really understand how hard that really is to do, and it is. Even at the state level, when you saw improvements in their park, it's single digit. So we knew we have a lot of room to grow still, and we still have areas that we have to look at. But we were very honest when we presented this information for the board that we had 3 high-achieving schools, and so we really I think that we're going to see some, and it brought down the district averages overall for elementary. But we really feel like we're going to do incredibly well. And that's our sense. We've got a very high energy level, and everybody seems to be excited about that. Secondary schools, we exceeded targets, we exceeded statewide averages in 6 out of 10 targets. Our elementary schools continue to demonstrate strength in math, which is, that was our weakness when I first came. So that's something we're celebrating. And the data demonstrates, again, the success of PLC. Our high school really, I don't really want to sound like we're bragging a bit, but we are. And I like to, I kid a bit and say we knocked it out of the park. Park scores, so I don't know. Anyways, our 10th grade English language arts, they did incredibly well with their averages and with what we did with the average score, and we were #1 on the Eastern Shore, #2 in the state. That's looking at performance levels 3, 4, and 5. Last year, performance level 3, 4, and 5 was passing. They haven't absolutely said that for a fact, but we're assuming that that's the case because for graduation, they're not going to take level 4 or performance level 4 until 2020. So we're assuming that, and even if we didn't and we just said, let's take levels 4 and 5, we would be #5 in the state. So it was significant. And it's not just, I know there's some question about how did our minorities do. We did incredibly well with our minorities as well. With 10th grade ELA, our African American population was #2 on the shore and #6 in Maryland. So, I mean, we are reaching all of our population. Algebra 1, #3 on the Eastern Shore. Algebra 2, although we have to qualify that because not every county gave Algebra 2. It was optional. There are 18 counties that did. But we scored #1 on the Eastern Shore. We have an improved graduation rate. The statewide average is, I wanted to make sure I didn't overstate that, is statewide average was 88%. Excuse me, 87% is the statewide average. And we are at 91%. Interestingly enough, our minorities are the highest graduation rate. 93% for African American and 92% for our Hispanic population. Scholarship awards doubled. As a matter of fact, some of my colleagues on the Eastern Shore questioned whether we were submitting accurate data because it actually doubled from the year before. Our students garnered about 15 million worth of, or thereabouts, close to 15 million in scholarships, and last year was an all-time high, 30 million. From our students, and it was it's not a huge graduating class. And the way we add that up is anytime anybody gets offered a scholarship, it's added. So, everybody.
Being aware the scholarships are there.
Yeah, exactly.
The system allows that to happen.
Yeah. So I'll just end with quality, what makes a quality school district. The ability to recruit highly qualified teachers. We have to have competitive salaries. One of the things in the story I'd like to tell with our substitutes, we still have work to do with our substitute teachers. We lost 2 of our substitute teachers. One to go to work at Dunkin' Donuts because she makes more per hour working at Dunkin' Donuts, and just benefits. And so, we have a recurring revenue source issue overall. We start improving salary schedules, we have to be able to sustain them. And so we know we have work to do with substitute teachers. We lost another one to McDonald's. And that to me is just unbelievable that we would lose subs to that. So anyways, but we know that the minimum wage is going up, so we have several of our salary schedules that we're going to have to work on. So we have to have competitive salaries. Personalized student learning, I think if you look at high-performing schools throughout the country, that's where they're making the difference, is when you can personalize learning, that's when it just skyrockets for all of your kids in the school. Instructional materials, you have to have the ability to provide those and then provide resources for underperforming schools as you note them within your data. I mean, you don't just add resources because you think you need them, you add resources because you know you need them. What else do you need for equality is professional development opportunities. If we could not have the resources to train our teachers, and then provide the ability to utilize materials or whatever it is we're introducing, it's just money, good money out for bad. The ability to have fine arts for our kids. We are a small county and it's a struggle every year to keep those things in place. But to me, I would almost advocate that we need to expand what we offer for fine arts because we're a fine arts community. I mean, that's important to us. We try to utilize all of the resources that we have within the county, and thanks to Tom McHugh, we've been able to, and Gina Giacomo's, we've been able to implement Arts in Motion and utilize the talent within the community. Career technology and engineering. We have 7 pathways: ag science, engineering, auto, broadcasting, construction, nursing, teacher academy. That comes at a huge cost. And we have one of the richest CTE programs in the state for being as small as we are. Again, that's a commitment. Class size has to be important, and of course, positive learning environments. So, maintaining our facilities and making sure that we don't have roofs that are collapsing and, trash cans holding the rain that's coming in from the roof. I mean, that all is important. So that concludes my presentation.